It is a pleasure to welcome you to our 90-day revenue sprint. We have 4 objectives for you that we want you to keep in mind at all times. Number 1, we will be rapidly increasing your new business. Number 2, we will double the number of meetings and prospects that you have. Number 3, we will be working to increase where you go and how you achieve the results. And number 4, we want to find and use hidden assets. Those are things that your firm or your organization that are performing perhaps not as well as they should. You're paying for them, you've got staff working on them. Let's find them and make them work better. This program is designed into 3 elements. The first is using the sprint analogy, on your mark. The next is go. And the reason go is second is because after the first series of module lessons, you'll be out hustling. And the third element is get set. And those are some items that will help support you as you proceed with your 90-day sprint. Understand something, please. This is not about kissing frogs. It is not marketing. What it is sales execution to accelerate your revenue. And it is intended to move prospects along faster. But keep in mind, it is only a 90-day sprint. It is not intended to last a long period of time. You will be moving faster, you will be moving directly, you will be eliminating a lot of other things you typically do to concentrate on raising revenue. Let me conclude our initial introduction with a quote from Sir Richard Branson. You may know he has over 400 enterprises, even though he only started with a very small music publishing business. We use his quote in every seminar, in every strategic plan that we do. Opportunities are like buses. If you miss one, another one will be coming along if you keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. Now let's move on to our very first lesson. Are you Kleenex or are you tissue? Now let's move on to our very first lesson. Are you Kleenex or are you tissue? Do you know what people buy? Do you know how they see what you're selling? One of the most important tactics we've ever learned about business growth is converting their needs to your values. So here's the need, here's the value. When you ask a well-prepared question to determine their need, and they answer it coming over to your value, your response is, here's what we did in a similar situation. Does this work for you? And most likely they'll say, yes. And what have you just done? You have converted a need to a value. And you do that 2 or 3 times, especially with somebody who's relatively new, and you now have values in their minds that are yours. Converting those values, let me give you a really funny example. Think about this. Henry Ford built the first automobile. How did he convert people to leave a horse and get into a car? How did he convince people to give up oats and hay and buy gasoline? What I would like you to remember is that story, because it will keep in mind the importance of selling your values by converting their needs. And I want to remind you about an IBM quote that kind of solidifies this whole discussion. Their quote is, sell what they need, not what you have. Let's put it another way. Don't sell what you have, sell what they need. And when you do that, you brought them back around to your values. This lesson starts an overall view of the entire process of our 90-day sprint. And there are 5 keys I'd like you to remember at the very beginning. Number 1 is, what are the benefits that you are offering to your clients, to your prospects, to your companies? And keep in mind, they're looking for benefits, both from an individual point of view and from a company or service agency point of view. Most importantly, number 2, are you really offering solutions to problems or issues or concerns that they have? And are these solutions also contributing to possible opportunities that they see in their own marketplaces. Number three, as part of this conversion process, you're talking about results that you've achieved elsewhere. And as they explain their needs more, you begin to address them specifically, not just by comparing them to what you've done before. Number four, building trust. Absolutely critical. With references, with examples, with the professionalism that you present during a meeting, during a Zoom call, during emails, wherever the opportunity comes up. And lastly, you are overall presenting values. And those are the values that will stick with these people as they consider purchasing or buying what it is that you are offering to them. So every opportunity, you need to include these 5 values. And let me remind you about the IBM quote. Do not sell what you have. Sell what they need.